Today we're going to be talking about fanboyism. I'm Luke the Cell. I'll be replacing Suds for today. And today, point one, what defines a fanboy? Fanboyism is an interesting concept because you never know when you're a fanboy. Fanboys are physically unable to comprehend why people choose the other side of the argument. They can say they are, but they don't comprehend it. They can repeat it back to you. They can say it back to you, but they don't understand the other side of the argument. They don't see why people would side with the other side of the argument. They're unaccepted, unabashed passionate list. They're very, very passionate about one hunk of plastic versus another. That is the true definition of a fanboy. At least to me and my fanboy chart. Okay, there's 3 stages of fanboy. Stage 1. I feel like I should have repeated that so nobody loses their track of the video. Like Stephen King in this bitch. Anyways, stage 1. Stage 1 fanboy is the logical fanboy, which will dispute you on logical claims. Stage 1 fanboys are characterized by being lured in with some logic long ago, but then they become total fanboys and get sort of radicalized in the ideology that they can no longer see the other points, the other arguments for the other things. Like, let's say if I was an Intel fanboy. Yeah, Intel fanboy. I don't have a live studio on this, but an Intel fanboy. Let's say I was an Intel fanboy. And I would think, legitimately, I wouldn't see the virtue of more cores like on the AMD side. I'd say single core performance is everything. AMD is fucking shit. Let's go. Single core performance is all you need in your life. We don't need multi-cores. And if you need multi-cores, you should buy a $3,000 CPU. Not an actual price estimate, by the way. Just gotta defer that. So, in that example, we learned they are disputing in a logical sense, but they have lost the logical core that originally drove them to it. It's a little weird mishmash of logic and emotion. As in that they have become emotionally invested, but were initially lured in by logic. Because they've gotten so attached to this hunk of plastic. They're the easiest to deal with because they can climb up over the cliff the easiest and get back into logical fan territory. Fans are completely different than fanboys. Fans see the other side of the argument. So they can get over it. But their fanboyism is still provoked. And it's hard to deal with. They're the easiest, but they're still hard to deal with. I'm not saying you should always talk to logical fanboys. They're hard to deal with. Now, second stage is what I like to call the nostalgic fanboy. It's a stage deeper, and you can't go from logical to nostalgic, but you can go from nostalgic to logical fanboys, if you know what I'm saying. They're purely motivated on a vision of the past. They think the past was their good time. The best way I can put it is the Remember Berries from South Park. They think the past was amazing, and they have this affiliation to a brand that is Die Hard. I like to think of them as Nintendo fanboys, or some types of Sony fanboys are like that. Or anything that influenced somebody's childhood and is still around, people will act like that dislogically. And the final type is the dislogical fanboy. Now you might say, well, the nostalgic fanboy is dislogical. This makes the nostalgic fanboy look like a walk in the park. Nostalgic fanboys can recover and become logical fanboys and then become regular fans. The dislogical fanboy is dangerous. You believe what I want to believe, or you're a fucking idiot. That is how a dislogical fanboy talks. The iPhone is the best fucking phone in the world, or you're gonna get your head mauled in by my wild bears. They don't want to talk to you. Once you get into that territory of dislogical fanboyism, they're not worth talking to anymore. They're dead. Dislogical fanboys, they're basically in that topic. You should not talk to them. This is something I also want to bring up. Just because you're a fanboy in one topic doesn't mean that you're a fanboy in the other. And you can be a sensible and easygoing person and a nice person, but you can still be a fanboy. And you can be like a fanatical fanboy in one topic and not be one at all. So if you have a dislogical fanboy in your life, then just don't talk to them about whatever they're dislogical about, because you're gonna end up with a bad argument. They're not worth talking to. If you know for sure somebody's like, this is why you should side with me, then just don't talk to them. I have to say it. Don't talk to dislogical fanboys. Anyways, make sure to hit that like button if you want to see more Luke DeSalle on Suds. If you don't, hit that dislike button. If you want to see more of me and like a not Suds connotation, go hit that link in the description to Luke DeSalle. I posted a lot of videos on that channel. That's like 100 plus, maybe 300. I don't know. It's very vague. But anyways, do that subscribe thing. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to Suds,